This is perfect. We have an insane Calgary Flames prospect update as after a couple of fantastic drafts, the Flames have plenty of exciting talent spread across juniors, including many young stars in the NCAA. With the future hopefully sooner than many of us think, we could have some real explosive talent at the NHL level soon. We're going to get to all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and first and foremost, we have to talk about last night's game, as in my opinion, that was easily the most entertaining game the Flames have played all year. It had a little bit of everything, obviously. Some goals, some big hits, some fights, some ridiculous saves by people you wouldn't expect, and the Flames come away with a 3-2 win, which... pros and cons. Yes, it was exciting. Our favorite team won their hockey game, but the Flames are no longer bottom of the NHL. So, for most of the fan base that is on Team Tank, or at least want the Flames to not win so much, it unfortunately was a win. But for everyone else who still, no matter what, wants to throw in a win every now and then, wants to watch some entertaining hockey, that is what happened. The Flames win this one 3-2 in a shootout. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Beautiful shootout goals as well. So, Devin Cooley, statistically the best goaltender in the NHL this year, out of nowhere. Remember how bad he was in the preseason? We were thinking, oh my gosh, we have to trade for a backup. That's back before everyone was on Team Tank, and we thought that one more point thing, we can make the playoffs this year. And now Cooley, for whatever reason, is just unreal. It's fantastic. A lot of people are saying, wow, trade him while his value is high. But either way, another great post-game interview where he just, essentially said he had loads of fun. It was just a blast. He's such an awesome guy. So happy for him getting the win for sure. Farabee and Coronato get goals on the night. Kadri gets a couple of assists. Andersson and Huberdeau each getting assists as well. But there were way different storylines as to just, who got on the score sheet last night. Mikko Rantanen, he does a pretty nasty boarding hit on Coronato, gets kicked out of the game. Coronato bleeding all over the place, gets some stitches, and he's back in. What a hockey guy there. And then Jonathan Huberdeau getting in a fight, stepping up for his guys. That shows the camaraderie of this team. They're just so together. It was just such a great game from so many people. Nazem Kadri, yes, he got 2 assists, but what a beauty of a shootout winner he scored. What a move. Can't believe that worked. It was honestly gorgeous. Just some silky mitts there from Naz. And, huge shout out to Kevin Ball. The save he made in overtime to keep the puck out of the net might have been the save of the night, and that's excellent. That just shows how valuable he is. He's such a good defensive defenseman, but to essentially keep the puck out of the net in that way, batting the puck out of the air as it's going to maybe go in, just fantastic to see. And there was more than just that. Certain guys obviously had great games, but overall, super entertaining game from essentially every facet. But yes, the Flames did get 2 points, which for a lot of people isn't exactly ideal, but at least it was a very entertaining hockey, which we care about a lot. And what else is entertaining when it comes to Flames fans and just, the Flames in general? Well, it's the future. So let's talk about our NCAA prospects. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to kind of make, I guess, the bulk of this video before talking about, or in between talking about last night's game and before tonight's game, because there's still all the Don Maloney stuff. The waters are not settled, of course. Obviously, you guys had a lot to say on yesterday's video, and I appreciate the support, obviously, but also it is interesting what's going on there. So I wasn't too sure what to make today's. I thought I could do some more Maloney stuff or some, behind-the-scenes Flame stuff, but I decided let's just go with something a little more positive. Let's talk about the prospects, and thankfully, a little article came out about 5 hours ago. So the top Calgary Flames draft picks in NCAA hockey, currently, obviously, not of all time. Pictured there, of course, Cullen Potter, who is a very explosive. The image I chose for the intro of this video was him just absolutely displaying his wheels. But let's get in. So, Trevor Hoskin, he was at the top of this list, believe it or not. So, he's a forward. He's at Merrimack College. He was a 2024 fourth round, 106th overall pick, and it looks like an absolute steal for the Flames so far. So, after tearing it up at Niagara University his freshman year, Hoskin, I almost said Huska for some reason, but Hoskin transferred to Merrimack, where he has continued his production in arguably the best conference, Hockey East. Hoskin leads the Warriors with 8 assists and 12 points through 10 games. He drives hard to the net, resulting in scoring opportunities for himself and his teammates. Merrimack is currently in the middle of the pack of their conference, and it may very well be Hoskin who pushes them further up the standings. So having, this kind of difference maker in the pipeline is fantastic, because he's not necessarily, a flashy player, but he gets the job done. He really does make a difference. I know some of you guys probably watch a little bit of college hockey, especially focus on our Flames prospects, of course, and he is having a great season. I mean, 12 points through 10 games is fantastic in the NCAA, kind of no matter where you're playing. But he has just been absolutely fantastic, and it's exciting to have such an under-the-radar guy from a couple drafts ago play so well, after he really was really good last year with Niagara University. So it's great that his development is ahead of being on pace. I'd say he's, destined to probably end up at the NHL level at some capacity at some point, and it would be good if it can continue. Fingers of crossed for him, but honestly super exciting to have Hoskin around. Next, Cullen Potter. So he's a forward from ASU. He was a 2025 first round, 32nd overall pick, of course, from the Florida trade, the Matthew Tkachuk trade. So Cullen Potter is electric, and I could just stop there. I could honestly stop there and it would suffice, but either way, he's a true playmaker, leveraging his elite skating to produce points from a multitude of angles. I mean, that's just wonderful to hear. Potter's also a balanced player, not relying too much on his shot or pass, but rather utilizing both attributes of his game in the applicable scenarios on ice. His agility amplifies his offense, allowing him to maneuver quickly around opponents. Potter thrives under pressure, most recently scoring an OT winner against Denver last night. Yes, that's what we want to hear. As the Sun Devils continue their campaign this season, I have no doubt that Cullen Potter will be a large part of their success. And as you can see, nowhere there he mentions, or the author of this article mentions how many points he has in that many games, because it's not all that overwhelming. He's not, in terms of actual legit production, doing amazing. But again, he's kind of making a difference. He's showing off his wheels, he's showing off his skills, and he's getting better, which is great. I mean, scoring an OT winner against not just any team, but Denver, obviously. I mean, that is very good to hear. I know a few people are a little bit concerned about Potter. It's funny. A lot of people thought he dipped quite a bit in the draft, whereas other people thought, what are the Flames doing? This guy's not a first-round talent, which is kind of funny. Last pick of the first round, of course, but I still think it's great to have him in the pipeline, of course, and he could very well be, honestly, a legitimate everyday NHLer one day, which, of course, once again, we have our fingers crossed for. Now, next one here, Cole Reshny, the other first-rounder from last year's draft. He went 18th overall, currently playing at the University of North Dakota. So a pass-first forward. Cole Reshny is the setup man for the Fighting Hawks. Reshny carries this role from the Western Hockey League, where his 66 helpers were 6th during last season. Now at North Dakota, he leads his team as a freshman with 9 assists in 12 games. What makes Reshny such an effective passer is his vision, allowing him to see plays develop at a fast pace and exploit the vulnerabilities of his opposition. Reshny is on a line with Boston Bruins draft pick Will Zellers and will no doubt be helping the young Bruins draft pick adjust to the college game by feeding him a plentiful amount of pucks. And you need your goal scorers, of course, and the Flames need that desperately more than anything else, but you also need your setup men. And I know a lot of people say we already have some of those. Think of Huberdeau, think of some other guys, but it's good to have another one. Reshny also scored a lot last year, especially in the playoffs, so he can get it done in terms of goal scoring as well. Hasn't exactly gone to plan in that sense at the college level so far, but still, no doubt in my mind that he is a really, really good player. Now, last one, Ethan Wittenbach, which, again, kind of like Hoskin, kind of out of nowhere. So I've talked about Ethan Wittenbach at length in many pieces, and for good reason. He's a dynamic, explosive forward that should be in the conversation with Gavin McKenna and Porter Martone as one of the best college hockey freshmen. That is that is music to our ears as Flames fans. That's great comparisons. You have, Ethan Wittenbach, current Flames prospect, and Gavin McKenna, future Flames Hall of Famer on the way. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, and sometimes you guys hate when I do that, but either way, it's fun to think about. Now, Wittenbach knows his game and sticks to it, using his speed and shot to cause havoc for the opposition. He is currently first on Quinnipiac with 10 assists and 16 points through 14 games. The future is bright for Calgary with Wittenbach in its pipeline, and no one can argue with that, which is great. Honorable mentions as well to Eric Jameson, Jaden Lipinski, Henry Muse, and Luke Mies. Obviously, some of those guys dealing with injuries, but still fantastic to hear that the guys are doing well at the college level, because that's almost becoming the number one way to develop before coming to the NHL these days. Still probably CHL, but NCAA on the rise, and good to know that our guys are fitting in well. Now let's get into the promised tonight's game here as the Flames, a back-to-back, technically a scheduled loss here for the Flames, but it is against the Canucks, so they like losing a lot too. But this one goes at 7 p.m. in Vancouver. The Flames starting a bit of a road trip here, playing obviously in Calgary last night, Vancouver tonight, and it should be an interesting one for sure. In terms of the lineup, probably don't expect too many changes, but expect Dustin Wolf to be in net for the second half of the back-to-back, obviously with Cooley playing last night. Interesting that they chose Cooley to play against the better team and Wolf against the not as good team. No offense to the Canucks, but they're no Stars and they're no Flames in that way. But either way, Pat Steinberg here will confirm and get any lineup changes at warm-up. So probably the exact same lineup we saw last night. I don't see why we'd change anything. But either way, hopefully it's another super entertaining game from all sides. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. It comes from yesterday's video where there were so many comments and so many comments with a bunch of likes. It was hard to pick one, but I just honestly kind of randomly chose CP Trex here said, really hope ownership sees and hears this type of content / opinion and know they might lose more fans with this current course of action. It seems like there are more examples of teams with success that tank and build through the draft versus teams that stay in the mushy middle. And that almost goes without saying at that point. And it's funny too, because Calgary keeps comparing, or the owners keep saying, we don't want a Buffalo type situation. Since the lockout, Buffalo has more playoff wins than the Flames do. So it's funny overall. It's not great that that's what our ownership is like. Of course, you can't expect them to say, yeah, we're just going to go tank, but they could at least be a little bit more on board with giving Conroy kind of the reins instead of them controlling it too much from their level. You kind of want, your GM to be the mastermind in a way, but either way, interesting scenario obviously happening in Calgary, and hopefully those waters are calm soon, kind of like what I said at the beginning of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.